Hello, my name is Elkrief, and in this video I'd like to talk about what love is. So, love is what we experience in any moment that we're with someone without our judgments about them or our judgments about ourselves. So love is complete acceptance. When we're with somebody without our judgments of them, we're essentially accepting them how they are. We have no concept about how they aren't good enough, or how we want them to improve, or how they would be perfect if only. All that only exists in thoughts. So without them, love is what remains. In addition, love is unconditional. When we love someone, when we truly love someone, it can't be impacted by words or actions that we don't like. If our love is conditional upon them acting and speaking in a way that matches what we want, then really we're just loving how they act. It's not really love. And lastly, love is selfless. Love doesn't need anything in return or want anything in return. When we love someone, we're not requiring that they do what we want or give to us or love us back. Right? That's all has some selfish motives behind it. When we love, we just love purely, innocently, without any ideas of what we may get or want to get in return. And so when we love, what we experience is freedom, it's openness, it's connection. So generally when we're with people, we experience a barrier in between us, a divide. There's no connection there. So the barrier, the wall between us is thoughts, it's judgments. When we have thoughts about someone or judgments about them, we don't meet them, we're just experiencing our thoughts about them. And that prevents us from connecting and feeling this intimacy that we really want. Right? A lot of us are longing for this intimacy, or we feel separate and lonely. Right? But we can have this experience of love and connection, closeness and togetherness when we just, in any moment, when we just don't have or don't believe the judgments that arise in our minds. See, normally as we go through life, all of our judgments prevent us from loving people. Right? So when we think that they shouldn't have said that, or they shouldn't have done that, or that wasn't good enough, or I wish they would be that way, then we experience anger, disappointment, longing, feelings of lack and insufficiency, all that stuff. And that clearly prevents us from feeling love. But in addition, when we are experiencing our positive thoughts about someone even, those positive thoughts still prevent us from loving. Because in a moment that we think they're doing something wonderful, or I love how they said that to me, then of course we're going to also be embedded in that is going to be thoughts about how I want them to continue doing that, and thoughts about how it would be bad if they don't, or when they don't do it, thoughts about how that isn't good enough. So that's not love, that's just a conditional experience that we have when certain thoughts arise in our mind. Right? When we love, we tend to have been trained that love is having really, really wonderful, positive thoughts, and having the thought, I love you so much. But to love someone, we don't need to have positive thoughts about them. We don't need to experience the thought, I love you. All that's completely unnecessary. When we love, we're just here. We're just here together, just being, without anything added on top of it. And that's love. That's just innate. We don't need to do anything to create love. Love is just what remains, what's here automatically in any moment. So we tend to think that we're looking to get love from others, that we want to feel love from others. But just take a moment right now and recall, If there's somebody who you don't care about at all, maybe some random person at work, if you know that they love you, or if they tell you I love you, how would that make you feel? You probably wouldn't feel much, right? It's unlikely to heavily impact you, right? So that means that it's not others' love that make us feel good. It's our love for others. Right? When we're with somebody and we really love them, how do we feel? We feel wonderful. Right? If somebody else's love had the ability to make us happy, then anybody that loved us would make us feel happy. Right? Their love would make us feel happy. It wouldn't be different depending on the person. So, when we feel this love, when we experience this love, we can just give it to everyone. We don't have to limit it to one person. We tend to go through life trying to find one person to love us, or maybe for us to love them. But why limit it to one? Right? With love, there's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to fear. We don't have to fear that we won't receive their love, because we don't need anything in return. I can love you, I can love you, I can love the waiter, I can love the cashier, I can love everyone, right? Because it feels wonderful to love, and that's our nature, that's what we want. And there's nothing to fear. When we just love, what can happen? We don't need anything. When we're present, when we're here, without our judgments about ourselves and others, we're already happy. Therefore, we don't need somebody else to do things for us. We don't need somebody else to love us. We don't need somebody else to fill our needs. We don't need anything from anyone else. And if we don't need something from them, then there's nothing to fear. Really, there's nothing to fear. We're just free to love, free to be ourselves, free to just be here now, completely. So that's love, at least how I see it. So thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next video.